Okay. Welcome back, everyone. I hope it was a fun, chill session which we had. Now we move on to the last and the final part of our Toastmasters meet, the evaluation segment. Well, fear not, my fellow Toastmasters, because within each of us lies the incredible power to reinvent ourselves and hit that reset button. Just like the New Year's wishes and resolutions, which we enthusiastically make every year. And let's admit it, we often forget it by February. On that note, a quick raise of hands. How many of you are still following your resolutions, which you took on the 1st of Jan 2023? I see one. Okay. Two people. That's more than I was expecting because I will not count myself in that list. So that's good on you, Dakshan Revan. Embracing change and transforming is like having our own very superpower. It allows us to grow, learn, and adapt to ever changing tides of life. So let's not shy away from our past mishaps and humorous blunders. Well, someone says that okay, wait. Duck says his resolution was not to make any resolutions. So yeah, you are following that. So let's not shy away from our past mishaps and our humorous blunders which we may have committed. Instead, let's wear them like badges of honor, celebrating the quirky side of ourselves that make us delightfully unique. Life is a series of metamorphic moments, and we can choose to embrace each and every one with a smile and a heart full of curiosity. And now, without further ado, let's shift our attention to the crucial evaluation segment, where the magic of improvement and constructive feedback happens. So let's give it to our Toastmaster, the general evaluator of the day, Jashmita, and get ready to receive pearls of wisdom and valuable feedback as we continue our quest for self-improvement and excellence. Toastmaster Jashmita, over to you to lead us through this enlightening evaluation segment.
Good morning, everyone. Again, we have our first speaker, Toastmaster Niklesh. His speech evaluator is Toastmaster Aditya. I call him to give his evaluation.
Just a second, I'm switching on my camera. Yeah. So, uh, firstly, I would like to ask myself a question. Did I eat my breakfast today? And I'm going to answer this. Maybe so, maybe not. We will see. Well, I guess this is a very wonderful answer to every sort of question that any one of you may ask. Like, suppose if you ask me, did you do your test well? I'm going to say the same thing. Maybe so, maybe not. We will see. So basically, this answer to this particular, I mean, any sort of question is really interesting, and I think it will fit for everything. And I'll use this only from now onwards. Thank you so much, Nikhilesh, for giving me this wonderful answer. But yeah, coming to your speech, you had a very quirky start. You started grabbing the audience attention by, narrating a very good story, a crocodile and a monkey story, which was nowhere related to your topic, but it helped to grasp the audience attention. And then you continued with your flow. You asked a couple of questions like what's a hair and all mare, sorry, mare was what's a mare, and your speech had a very wide scope of using both body language as well as vocal variety, and your intro was also connected to the conclusion. When you concluded by saying maybe so, maybe not, we will see, it was a link to the introduction. So you had a very good speech, I must say. Now, since you told that there should be some improvements so that we can improve in our, I mean, we can deliver a better speech. So I have some couple of improvements that I could suggest you. Firstly, you didn't use your body language well, is what I could see. You were like just standing here and maybe using a bit of hand movements, but you could have used your hand movements and your body language very wisely. Like When you said maybe so, maybe not, we will see, you could have used your hand gestures and your face expressions, which I did not see much. And you could also use a couple of vocal variety, like when you said wow you're so lucky, you could have said wow you're so lucky. You could have shown excitement, and you had sorrow in your speech. Oh no, your son broke his leg. You could have changed the tone and pitch of your voice, which I could not see. Hence, these are the couple of improvements on your side. If you are able to do all these, probably you will succeed. Maybe so, maybe not. We will see. Thank you.
Toastmaster Aditya Mete, that was a really great evaluation. You have added the title in your speech evaluation, and you have also told how you would use it in your real life. And you have divided your speech evaluation into two segments: the ones which you have liked and the ones you have he has to improve. But a little suggestion for you is that the tone of your speech evaluation, instead of saying that I did not see, you could have you can say that I would like to see this in your further speeches. That tone of evaluation will give a sense of encouragement to the speaker. That is one thing I'll suggest you to do. And yes, there were really great suggestions about the body language and the pitch, and you gave really great examples of where it could be used. My evaluation for Toastmaster Niklesh. Your speech purpose was body language and vocal variety. And just as Aditya Meti has mentioned, you had a really big stage to walk in. You had a big stage to walk in, and you're standing in the center. But when you're talking about two different characters, you can turn, because your speech had a lot of characters. When this person who is saying maybe so, maybe not, they can turn a little and do that. And the suggestions about the body language he already gave, but little suggestion which I have to give about the script is that the story which you have done, the story had maybe so, maybe not in every of the aspect, when his son broke his leg or when some situations happened. But at the last of the story, I would have it would have had a better conclusion or better thing when people came and told him that he his son is going to be saved. Then a little more interaction with the audience would have added a little more value to your speech. That is something which I have felt. And your network was bad, but it was a really great way to interact with the audience, saying that you have managed your network, you have addressed that issue in your speech. That is also something which I would like to take on in my further speeches. And great. Sometimes in the speeches, I haven't felt the interaction between little segments that you can bring on in your other speeches. This is my evaluation for your speech. And our next speaker is Toastmaster Sanidhya. His evaluation is done by Toastmaster Shambhavi. I call her on.
Hello everyone, I'm back with my evaluation of Toastmaster Sanidhya's speech. You are mad. So Toastmaster Sanidhya addressed the topic of mental well-being of people in general. About he addressed their anxieties and depression and how people try to cope with them. So his content was this, and his style was informational, and they both work together. I must commend you on that. Your speech had a defined structure. You started your speech with a question with which everyone could relate with. So you were able to engage the audience. And when you you made you were comfortable with the audience with the stories you spoke about, such as the situation of the 10th floor and about when you discuss their mental well-being. Coming to things that could have gone better, your gestures were constricted to this much. Try to move your hands a bit more, but don't make it too much. Second, you could use tone, speed, and volume as your tools. Overall, your speech had a certain pattern. It was a kind of monotonous. Your vocal variety could be improved on that. Thirdly, use English when you are giving your speech. I liked it very much when you used the phrase Jivan ka uddeshya. Yes, you could connect with me and the people who know about that. But then try using Hindi again and again in your speech about people, if they can't understand it, they kind of get lost about what your speech is about. Overall, you started with the question, you gauged people's current situation, saying no one is calm today, and related depression and anxiety, and connected it to madness. And then you told about people posting about it on social media. You talked about the situation of looking at people from 10th floor, looking at different perspectives at a time. You discussed that we must focus more on dealing with a problem statement, and when you want to deal with that, you go to a therapist or maybe speak with people. And so that provided information about how you must handle those situations. So the information, the content was very good. And you ended with coming back to your title, that everyone is mad, but you did mention that everyone is responsibly mad, and I commend you on that. So yeah, one strong point of yours would be you add stories to your speeches. So I'd like you to see that again in your next speech, and all the best for your coming speeches. Thank you.
It was a great evaluation, Toastmaster Chandra. You have given proper introduction and conclusion for the given speaker. And I would like for you to add a little more about the clarity and vocal variety, the number of skills that are given in the evaluation form, so that he will also understand how to use the evaluation form better. It's his first speech where the evaluation form should be used. So that would be great if you can add it in your further speeches, speech evaluations. And coming back to the Toastmaster Sanidhya speech, your speech evaluation was done on this purpose, well organized speech and structure of the speech. Your topic was very connected to the audience, and you have given many examples about a car in a traffic jam, or what we feel is what we understand. There were a lot of quotes, but I think because of the internet issues, internet issues were little distracting for me to connect to your speeches. But in the further speeches, if it is offline, we can work on that. And you had better interaction with the audience as well. And yes, as Toastmaster Shambhavi has said, you can bring a little more interaction, little more questions with the audience, because mental health is really connected with all of our audience. When you're telling about the therapist or some of the real life situations, you can add how the audience will pursue that as well. That is my evaluation for you. And with the third speaker is Toastmaster Ram, and his evaluator is Toastmaster Madhur. I call her onto the stage.
Thank you, Jaswita. Are we think who we are? Well, that's a wonderful way to start a speech. Your speech title made me think, wait, what is it going to talk about? I'm sure that this speech title was apt for what you were talking about, because that made the audience think what you are going to speak. So first checklist tick. You you did good job on your title. The second thing, what I felt about your speech was, in an agile world where everyone is constantly validating their emotions, trying to find out about who they are, you made us to pause and think what we are. You had a good start. You had a very good vocabulary. You had very good usages of words. You brought out, you brought out all the emotions that we have every day. You used your hands to tell them. For example, when you told my CGPA, my mom compared my CGPA. My mom, what is his CTC? My mom asked, what is that? So you had hand gestures. You attracted the audience with that. Your content. Moving on to your content, it was well connected with the audience. You had many things that were commonly related to everyone. You got everything on the table. The way you perceive your life could be bought onto it. So that is one thing that I would like you to work on. That is, as in Toastmasters, we have many things that you can work on and that you can excel at. Some things you excelled at were your body language, your speech title, and your content. These three were the main key points that I would appreciate you on. The things that where you can improve on is your professional language. The first thing, don't use macha, baba. If you do so, if anyone uses regional languages, make sure you have proper translation, because there are people who can't understand or get the vibe of it. Maybe they can get lost in middle of your speech and they might not get connect again what you were speaking to us. Work on your pauses. You are a great speaker, you have very good content, you have everything. Work on your pauses so that the audience will will get connected to your speech continuously. Your pace was a bit fast at some point of time. As you said that you wanted to work on the speed of your speech, I'm sure that overcoming it is not a piece of cake. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of speeches to come overcome the pace of your speech. So challenges that I would want you to work on is your conclusion. I found it abrupt because you started with a question, are we think who we are? But you didn't answer it. You had your content, but you didn't give a personal touch. So bring in a personal story. When you get a story, I'm sure people will always remember you saying that, hey, on that day, Aditya Ram talked about this. He had a personal story in it. I can still remember it. That is a way, storytelling is one of the ways you can connect with the audience. So that is one thing. The other thing that you can work on is eye contact. I can understand that this is an online setup, so you couldn't have proper eye contact with the audience, but I'm sure you will work on it in the offline mode. So that's it, all about my evaluation. Great speech. All the best for your next speeches. That's it.
Toastmaster Madhavata, it was a clear-cut explanation and your speech evaluation. And you have given the improvements and the areas which he has to work on. But I would like you to have a proper conclusion in which you summarize all the given points so that he can know which ones he has to work on. And you have included the pace on the speech, which was the feedback from others, the previous speech which he has given in the same project. That is one plus point in your speech evaluation. Coming to the Toastmaster Ram, I really loved your speech. At the starting, at the starting to connect with your speech, I felt a little difficult. But at the conclusion, I really felt that you have given the answer to your question. Are we who we think you are? And I would like you to add your experiences as Toastmaster Mathemata and a little more advices. And you have used word of the day in your speech. That is a really good takeaway for me as well. A prepared speech to impromptu use the word of the day. And that would be my evaluation for you. Now, coming back to the general evaluation of the whole session. The session has started a few minutes late, but I think as an online segment, we have our own network issues and we can work on that. Coming to the essay, the rules were well written and it has given a clear-cut view to the new members as well, how to go through and approach our meetings. And Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Pranav, I would like you to include the Rafsi's medley paragraph, which you have missed in your TMOD segment introduction. Our new members will be knowing about who has started this organization. It will be our way to commemorate our founder. And it was a great introduction for every segment, I must say. You have clearly explained what a prepaid speech segment is, what a TTM session is, and what an evaluation session is. And I would like you to add more about the content according to the agenda. In the agenda, we have 5 minutes before the prepared speech segment, and after prepared speech segment, 2 minutes before TTM session, and a little before evaluation segment, and 5 minutes after I give my GE report. So according to that, if you follow your content, it would be great for you to speak a lot before the segment as well. That I would give you. And one thing I have noticed while introducing a speaker, you have to use the format name, speech title name. And you have done it for two speakers, but you have missed that for Sanadhya. That I would like you to include in your further TMOD sessions. That was my evaluation for you. And the prepared speech segments, they were really great. We have our own ways to improve, and we are going to do that in our next speeches. Coming to the TTM session, Toastmaster Daksh, an impromptu session, and you had a really great humorous introduction and a very short story of how we can use our impromptu skills in our daily life. And you had very good interaction with our members so that they can take the volunteers, and really happy they have took volunteering, and you had done a great job as TTM using your own ways of conducting a TTM session. And coming to the table topic speakers, I really congratulate Toastmaster Nandan and Toastmaster Sharanya for taking their first table topic. And the topics which were given to you, you try to include, everyone has tried to include in their speeches. And yes, storytelling is an aspect which will improve our creativity. And that is my evaluation for TTM session as well. Coming back, let us go on to the TAC team reports. I call upon grammarian of today, Toastmaster Kamal, to give his evaluation.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasvita, for the introduction. So about today's speeches, I heard the word of the day ubiquitous once, but not used by many. Not sure if I have missed, but I could not hear. But the idiom, that is piece of cake, that's used by people like almost five I heard. So very good on that. So I would encourage people to use the word of the day, be it a table topic, be it role taking or the prepared speeches. And I also heard some good quotes like hope for the best and prepare for the worst. The sun will rise again. And phrases like way better than, you may argue. I love hearing many words. There are few words we know, but we don't use that often. I heard such words being used by many people. Devastate, unfold, captivating, metamorphosis, ponder, embrace, boundless, embark, profound, graveyard, enmity, intrigued, quickie. So all these words I feel okay used very well, and I could not find much where there is an improvement related to grammatical related mistakes also. But what I felt is sometimes people start a sentence, but they don't complete half the way. They just break that sentence and then move to another sentence. That's a thing I have noticed in with many of you, or at least some of you. So that is one thing where we need to concentrate. If we start a statement, we have to complete that statement, then move on to the next statement. So I'll be pasting the words which I was telling about. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamal. That was a really great way to put the good quotes and good usages, and we have already listed out the improvements as well. We will work on that. And I would like you to take a note of the memes as well for the idiom of the day so that the members will know who have used the word of the day and idiom of the day. That is one suggestion that I would give you. And yes, overall, it was a really great evaluation. Now, uh, our second role taker, Toastmaster Sharanya, as the account. The stage is yours.
So, first, we have two very good examples of how not to use scratch words. That was Toastmaster Daksh and Toastmaster Pranav. Then we have Toastmaster Nikhilesh used once and had two repeats. Toastmaster Sanidhya had one one so, and one like. Toastmaster Ram had two R's, two so's, two likes. Toastmaster Aditya had three R's, one one like. Toastmaster Shambhavi had one Toastmaster Madhumita had one Toastmaster Jashvita had two wells during the table topic session. Toastmaster Nandan had 2 hours, three well, one so during the table topic session. I myself had 2, 3 repeats during the table topic session. This was actually a very good example of how to use very less filler words by everyone in today's meeting. That's it. Thank you.
That's a precise report on hours and crutch words, CRPFs, in your report. And I would like you to maybe add a little more instructions and suggestions for how not to use CRPFs. You had a very quirky introduction, and you can make a little more improvements at the end as well. Yes. And overall, a really great job, Sharanya. And coming to our third role taker, Toastmaster Raymond as timer.
Welcome back. Good morning, one and all, and I'm back with my report. So, coming to the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Nikhil, he his time was 6 minutes 2 seconds, and he's qualified. And Sanidhya, and 6 minutes 40 seconds, he was qualified. And Toastmaster Ram, and he took 5 minutes 45 seconds. He was also qualified. And coming to the table topic segments, Toastmaster Nandan, he took 1 minute 58 seconds. And Toastmaster Sharanya, she took 1 minute 5 seconds. And Toastmaster Pranav, he took 2 minutes 11 seconds. And Toastmaster Ram, he took 1 minute 45 seconds. And Toastmaster Jashvita, 2 minutes 1 second. Coming to the speech evaluators, Toastmaster Aditya took 2 minutes 28 seconds, and Toastmaster Shambhavi took 2 minutes 58 seconds, and Toastmaster Madhumita took 3 minutes 50 seconds. She crossed the buffer time even. So make sure that you cover up the whole evaluation segment before the buffer time. And coming to the grammarian tag team, coming to the grammarian, Toastmaster Kanan, he took 2 minutes 5 seconds, and our counter, Toastmaster Sharanya, she took 1 minute 30 seconds, and myself, I was counting my report, counting my time, and these all the timing report will be shared in the WhatsApp group and in the chat box as well. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Jashvita.
That was an accurate report, Toastmaster Raymond. You have given the timings of every speech. One thing I would suggest you that about the table topic session of Toastmaster Nandan, I felt that you have started timing before he started speaking, and the green card was given very after 20 seconds or 30 seconds after he spoke. So that one thing I want you to take care of. 30 seconds is the buffer time for thinking for the table topic session. If the speaker doesn't speak even after 30 seconds, you can start your timer. That is one suggestion which I feel. And yes, overall, it was a great report. This is my evaluation for the whole segment. And back to the TMOD Toastmaster Pranav.
Thank you, Central Evaluator, and all the speech evaluators of the thank team. So here, towards the end, I say, let's look at someone who we all can familiarize with. The founder of Toastmasters, Ralph C. Medley. Well, he is the person who we can assume to be an example for Metamorphosis. He tried to set up this club countless number of times and eventually did succeed in it by transforming and renewing the ways he approaches this club. And today, Toastmasters is a wide international organization spread over 100 countries with over 2 lakh members and over 150 clubs. Now, why don't we raise our glasses, water bottles in this instance, to the beautiful chaos of life where transformations and renewals are as unpredictable as the weather forecast. Embrace the twists and turns and the surprises with open arms because lives grand punchline is that none of us really know what we are doing, and that's okay. So, I would like to say a big thanks for joining us in this chaotic celebration of metamorphosis, transformations, and renewals, and avoiding the pun which is there to be made and addressing it now. We in the XCOM are looking for renewals. So if your renewal is up, we request you to renew your membership by the 31st of this month to get the early bird discount. And let's continue to laugh, grow, and create unforgettable memories together. And remember, even when you're feeling like a clumsy caterpillar, the butterfly within you is just waiting to spread its fabulous wings. Thank you, and let the hilarity continue.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pranav. Overall, it was a really great session. We have learned a lot about caterpillars, butterflies, and the metamorphosis and how we can apply it to our own lives. It was a really great session. I have loved it lot and I have enjoyed every aspect of it. And being the general evaluator of this session as well, I will send the link for voting in the chat box and please go ahead and vote. We don't have any guests for this session, but Nandan and Sharanya have attended the session for the first time, and I would love to hear what you thought about the session. Any feedback?
Well, overall, the session was very nice. I felt, and I especially liked the time, keeping the time for each and every person, so that time management has been well, so that whatever the task has been assigned, the it could be completed on time. So we could cover all the members' speeches and all within the time. So I liked that one. Good session. Thanks.
Thank you, Toast.
Uh,
Thank you,
what
Toastmaster Nandan.
all of the speeches today, including the necessary speeches and all the table topic sessions, they all had very interesting stories, which was really fun to listen to. And I liked how everyone kept the session very entertaining. So that was something nice to see. Thank you.
And we have a very own area director in the meeting as well. We would love to hear what you think about our club. Please go ahead and vote if you haven't done it. Um, I'm sorry, I have to send the form again because Matamata didn't qualify as per the targets. Sorry for the inconvenience. I will send the form.
Toastmaster doesn't like silence, right? I see it's so quiet.
Yes,
True.
Kannan,
Thing is
can
going
you
on.
share about your experience about
Yeah,
that
so
club?
yeah, first of all, it is so energetic. Um, I have I'm attending a normal meeting first time from Tab. I see like three speeches. I was thinking like, how come you'll be able to manage three speeches? But it's well managed with all the role takers, and also you had a break. That is something new I have seen, but that is also positive. Whereas you are utilizing the time and then talking to people, doing networking in between, and then people also have a breathing space to come back. So that is very well done. And also the evaluations I heard, especially the general evaluators evaluation was wonderful because you covered everything. So whatever is missed by anyone, you are just covering it with everything, and also the energy of the Toastmaster of the day, that is like contagious with all the people, all the role takers. So that's very well done. Also the table topic session, it's something new, whereas people are innovative. That came up with three words, asking the people to make some story, tell some story. That's nice. So overall, I love uh, the session, and it's love to come back when next time possible. Happy to be part of the club in this meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kannan.
So I
One
would
more
just say, people who has time maybe attend other club meeting. Whereas, for an example, I'm joining TAM first time, and I see something good in this club, which I will recommend in other clubs. That okay, I felt Tab is doing this. I guess you can also do this. For an example, you created a group in that the meeting agenda every minute is counted, so that's very good, which I would recommend in other clubs as well. So similarly, when you can go and then attend other clubs meeting, at least I would recommend within the area, if possible, then within the division. Then you will also get to know about other people within the area, and then you can adopt something which they are doing, how differently they are doing. That's my recommendation. Yeah, thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kannan. We are really happy to have you here. We need one more response. I think we are ready to go for the results. Yes. Okay. About the results. Is there any disturbance in my background?
No, you're audible clearly.
Slight, but it's fine.
Well, yeah. Okay, about the results. Best of tag team. Any guesses?
AD sir. AD
Charanya,
sir.
the first time taker.
Let's Toastmaster Sharanya. Congratulations. It was very happy to have you in this role. Best of speech evaluators. It's Toastmaster Shamadu. And the best of speakers. It's Toastmaster Ram. Best of table topic speakers. Toastmaster Ram again. And the best of Big Four. It's TTM Daksh and Toastmaster Jaswita got a tie. Congratulations. Well, that's about today's meeting, and I've officially closed meeting number 207. And we are going to have a 5 minutes break. And at 12 o'clock, we are going to start our moments of truth. Please stay here. Don't go anywhere. Bye. And session is open for networking till then.
Congratulations, winners.